Keeping pace with Greater Lafayette, this is Lafayette Live with Mike Piggott, Debra Zahler, weather with Glenn Gajownik, and Larry Clisby Sports. TV 18 News at 6.
Good evening. Things are peaceful now, but severe thunderstorms with torrential rains rumbled through north-central Indiana early this morning.
The heavy rains caused some flooding, and many area rivers are at dangerous levels. Glenn Gajownik is keeping his eye on the situation at the Wildcat Creek.
That's correct, Deborah and Mike. Currently, I'm at the Wildcat Creek on State Road 25. And again, the river is continuing to rise. It has risen 9 feet now as of yesterday morning. So again, a very, very dangerous condition, and it is expected to continue rising for the remainder of this evening and also for tonight. Also, the Wabash River is expected to crest tomorrow at 16.5 feet. Flood stage is at 11 feet, so that puts it at about 5.5 feet above flood stage. All of this began yesterday evening with some very heavy thunderstorms, and up to our north in the town of Brookston, they received between 4 and 6 inches of rainfall during the past 12 to 14 hours, and that caused for some flooding in that area. Also in the town of Reynolds, about 6 to 7 inches of rain fell in some of those areas. A farm co-op again had some fairly serious flooding in that area. So again, very heavy rains, and we're not the only ones. Also further downstate, they had some tornado damage, and also the town of Elwood had some very serious flooding. So again, we are expected to see the rivers to continue rising up to about 16.5 feet as far as the Wabash River goes by tomorrow afternoon. This is Glenn Gajownik at the Wildcat Creek off of State Road 25 for Lafayette Live.
Glenn, will the higher water levels make water recreation dangerous this weekend?
Oh, most definitely. Right now, the Wildcat is flowing very quickly, very high. So anybody who wanted to do any canoeing or fishing for the Labor Day weekend, I would say definitely don't try and attempt it on any of the local rivers.
But I bet you somebody gets on that creek this week.
Thank you, Glenn.
You're welcome.
Fairfield Township trustee Keith Schilling says pressure from critics of the township's poor relief program has made an impact. Schilling announced today he's responding to the opposition by easing poor relief restrictions. Kevin Dorr reports.
It was just last week when members of Local Government Watch, an offshoot of Lafayette Urban Ministry, marched downtown in opposition to the Fairfield Township poor relief standards. Today, trustee Keith Schilling announced at a news conference new income guidelines effective today based on 80% of the federal poverty level instead of just 62%. That means a family of 4 could make up to $777 a month and qualify, $200 more than the old standard allowed. Schilling admits the change is in response to pressure from critics.
We've tried to work with these people time and again, and I think, as I say before, this evidently the stumbling block has been the poverty level, and we expect sincerely that we'll have 10, 15, 20 people a day in here requesting help from Fairfield Township.
Schilling also says he's cutting back office hours to 8 a.m. to noon to reduce total administrative costs by 21%. Public Policy Coordinator for the Lafayette Urban Ministry, Joe Micon, applauds the changes.
More needs to be done, but boy, let's give credit where credit is due and try to work with the township trustee and try to encourage him to do more, but at the same time thank him for the efforts that have been made up to this point.
Micon cautions the trustee still has a lot of discretion in awarding assistance even when people do meet the income standards. So he says Local Government Watch will continue to monitor the trustee's office and alert the community if things do not improve. Kevin Dorr, TV 18 News.
Schilling is also looking into financing construction of a new fire station to service Lafayette's east side.
Right now, the city doesn't have a fire station east of Sagamore Parkway. This station at 18th and Main is one of the closest for residents on the far east side. Schilling and Lafayette Mayor Jim Reilly met last week to discuss the situation. Schilling says the township has the authority to borrow up to $1.6 million to build and equip a fire station. But Reilly says another major expense would be payroll for more than 20 people.
Well, it's very expensive, and that's a long-term cost for the city. And, you can bond for equipment and a building, but you can't for personnel. So you have to proceed rather cautiously into making a determination on doing that. So.
Now, Trustee Schilling says one possibility would be to create a Fairfield Township volunteer fire department. He says an ideal location would be city-owned property at Union and Creasy. Reilly says the discussions were very preliminary He's waiting for more information from Schilling's office.
Unemployment is at a record low in Tippecanoe County, but as Sherry Brown reports, that's not good news for everyone.
Tippecanoe County fared well in July with an unemployment rate of 2.3%, matching the record low set last year. Chamber of Commerce President Gordon Kingma says while low unemployment is good for the community, it hurts small businesses and fast food chains.
A small employer probably doesn't have the same opportunity to pay wages, to offer fringe benefits at the same range that the larger employer does, and the people tend to work toward the better jobs.
Kingma says there is a desperate need to bring people into the community for these entry-level jobs. He says he will be meeting with industrial employers to explore two things in hopes of relieving the situation.
And one would be, what can we do as a group to recruit people to come in here from adjoining counties or other areas of the state? And two, how can we relate back to the Ivy Techs and the training programs available in the state, the kinds of skills that these employers need?
The unemployment rate rose in 5 surrounding counties. Clinton County made the highest jump from 4.1 to 6.5%. Tippecanoe, Benton, and Montgomery counties fared well with slightly lower rates. Sherry Brown, TV 18 News.
The State Budget Committee today approved more than $28 million for a new classroom and office building at Purdue. The new building will replace Education Hall near Memorial Mall. Demolition is scheduled for next summer. The Budget Committee has also approved nearly $3 million to renovate several laboratories on campus. $1.6 million has been set aside for improvements at the Indiana Veterans Home.
Still to come on Lafayette Live, Lafayette residents push for a flag-burning amendment.
And grocery shopping takes another step toward high technology.
The truck dealer, Bill DeFow, says we're dealing, closing out our 89 truck selection. You'll get rebates up to $750 of financing as low as 2.9%. And if you're in business or a commercial buyer and you're looking for the best buy on a cargo van, we have full-size Chevy cargo vans in stock ready for immediate delivery. Right now, we're offering cash rebates of $500 on all Chevy cargo vans, Astro vans, and full-size passenger vans. Closeout sales on now at DeFow Lafayette.
The wonders of this modern world are great to have when you need them, but nothing can replace the feeling you get of a tender hand to hold. Home Hospital knows you need a little of both when you're on the road to healing. Home Hospital, at the heart of healthcare.
It yields like 110-day corn, but dries down a week earlier. This 535 is unbelievable.
Turned out just great.
Oh, my customers will never believe what they can make with DK 535.
I can make how much more with 535? That's unbelievable.
You made how much? DK what? 535.
DK 535. It's unbelievable.
You planted the 535.
Portions of Lafayette Live are sponsored by Lafayette Bank and Trust and by Home Hospital.
Some Lafayette residents want to see an amendment made to the Constitution. Petitions were presented to Congressman John Myers asking for an amendment banning desecration of the flag. Myers says he supports the amendment and hopes to see action taken by the House by mid-September.
I'm sorry it's going to take a constitutional amendment. I've been one who always believed that we ought to keep the Constitution very clean, very clear. But if it takes a constitutional amendment, and apparently it does, then we're prepared to come forth with this, and we will.
Myers says the main problem right now is wording the new amendment.
Purdue University has been hosting its Beef and Dairy Days for more than 50 years. And as Steve Shear reports, today local farmers were able to see the most modern dairy equipment and learn more about the latest cattle research.
Purdue's 3-year-old Animal Research Center near Montmorency is a state-of-the-art facility that houses more than 1,000 head of beef and dairy cattle. But not only is it a teaching facility for students, area farmers also benefit.
Passing on or translating the research information putting it in a form so that the producer can put it to use out there on the farm.
Today, farmers didn't get to spend much time with these guys. Most of the day was filled with seminars and lectures. Topics today ranged from feed quality control to keeping flies off the livestock. And vendors displayed products that cost only a couple of bucks to equipment worth hundreds of dollars.
There's something new every year. We have been one of the ones who go out and try products as soon as they come on the market.
It's real good advertisement because you're face-to-face with the customer instead of him looking at a piece of paper you sent him or something like that. So you have a chance to visit with them and get their ideas. And
they get a little more technical background than what they would get if they went into a retail store just to pick the product up.
Reporting in Montmorency, Steve Shear, TV 18 News.
A trip to the supermarket is becoming a high-tech adventure for some shoppers. Chuck Beveridge reports one local store has a new electronic payment system that could become the wave of the future.
Cash and checks still seem to be the popular method of paying the grocery bill, but a growing number of customers are taking advantage of a new way of covering their food costs, the electronic way. A bank of newfangled keypads line the row of checkouts at the West Lafayette Marsh store, which makes charging it as easy as punching a few buttons.
It's $2.25.
Okay, I want to use this card. Now, what do I do?
You need to do it yourself. All you need to do is make sure the metallic band is facing down and it needs to be facing out.
Swipe it?
You need to pull it through rather quickly.
Okay.
Now you just enter your amount, and your amount's $2.25. And just hit enter. And then that's it. You just need to sign it for me.
Okay. The West Lafayette Marsh is one of just a few in the state offering the electronic payment machines.
It's for our MasterCard and Visa and Cirrus network cards. They're for customers who would like to charge their groceries. And it makes it quick and easy for customers on going through the lines.
Marsh says right now only about 15% of its customers are opting for the electronic method of payment, but they expect that number to go higher as more people become familiar with the new system. In West Lafayette, Chuck Beveridge, TV 18 News.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I start putting groceries on my bank card, that'll never be paid.
Chuck looks like he's doing fine. He's not a big spender.
Can you eat for that much?
No.
Coming up next, we go back to the Wildcat Creek for Glenn Gajownik's sunny holiday forecast.
And in sports, Larry Clisby has reaction to the death of baseball commissioner Bart Giamatti. Here's how the markets and stocks of local interest closed.
With Bob Roman's September savings celebration, you save big 3 ways.
1, you beat the 1990 price increase. 2, you'll get record-setting factory rebates. 3, you'll get record-setting Deal-Man deals.
The Bob Roman dealerships are overstocked with over 900 brand new 89s, and the high inventories mean low prices.
And the high rebates mean big savings.
And during Move 'em Out days and the savings celebration, the crew at Old Bob's has got to accept most any offer.
Save big 3 ways. That Deal-Man's getting desperate at all the Bob Roman dealerships, Lafayette.
This year, all the new GMs, all the Fords, Chryslers, imports have one thing in common: the ultimate gasoline guarantee. Amoco is so confident in the quality of Engine Cleaning Ultimate, they guarantee its regular use in any new car will prevent fuel system problems caused by gasoline. Or Amoco pays you for the repair. This guarantee is for every new car, and only at Amoco.
Glasses in about an hour? I thought, sure, as long as the lenses are simple. But I've got a tricky prescription, so I tried Lens Crafters.
Lens Crafters crafts your quality glasses in about an hour by putting the whole lab right in the store, so you can see better and work better in about an hour.
Made me a pair of top quality no-line bifocals, and they did it in 51 minutes. No kidding.
Lens Crafters, custom crafted eyeglasses in about an hour. Tippecanoe Mall near Kohl's.
Nissan dealers are still running the Nissan Marathon, and lucky for you, they haven't run out of gas. They're still passing along up to $1,500 in dealer cash incentives on Sentra, and up to $2,000 on every Nissan hard-body truck. There are plenty of great deals left on the Maxima, the most trouble-free car sold in the U.S., and the incredible 240SX. But see your Nissan dealer today, because on September 5th, you'll be out of the running. The Nissan Marathon, the best event we've ever run.
Lots of rain overnight. A big storm came our way, and Glenn Gajownik is out at the Wildcat Creek with the aftermath.
Well, actually, everything has really settled down. It turned out to be a fairly nice evening. Just a few light stratocumulus clouds out there, and actually a fairly nice evening on store for us, and no rain, believe it or not, in the forecast. Let's go to what we had earlier this afternoon. It wasn't too bad of a day once the showers and thunderstorms came to an end. High temperature today, 80 degrees, and that's due mainly to the sun popping out just about 2 or 3 hours ago. Currently, we're at 79 degrees, relative humidity 74%, and winds are calm. And here at TV 18, about 1.5 inches of rainfall. Let's go to some temperatures in some surrounding cities at this time. 78 degrees in Reynolds, 77 in Logansport, everyone again with clearing skies and improving weather pattern. Well, as far as rainfall amounts go, from the storms from yesterday evening and also for this morning, almost 4 inches of rain up towards our north in Reynolds, 5.75 inches in Kokomo, and look at down our south, almost 8 inches of rainfall. So again, a very, very heavy rainfall amount, saying that is causing all of our rivers to be on the rise. We can see that the Wildcat Creek has risen 9 feet now since yesterday morning. The Wabash River will crest tomorrow afternoon at 16.5 feet, and that's about 5.5 feet above flood stage. Across the Midwest, the clouds are departing and moving down towards the Ohio and also the Tennessee area. That's where we're finding a stationary front at this time and a low pressure center, which is located over central portions of Illinois. High pressure is now beginning to move in. That will clear our skies out for the weekend and give us a great weekend with dry conditions and sunny skies. All the thunderstorms are down around the Evansville and the Cincinnati area. For us, dry weather now for the remainder of the weekend. Tomorrow afternoon, sunny skies, rather pleasant conditions, and high temperatures for tomorrow, very, very nice. We'll make it up into the upper 70s, near 80 degrees. Let's go to my outlook for Saturday through Monday. A great Labor Day weekend. Temperatures again sitting right around 80 degrees. No rain in the forecast. My forecast for tonight, just a few sprinkles are possible with a few of those clouds out there. We'll have a low temperature of 62. Tomorrow, clearing skies. High temperature 78. Tomorrow night, clear skies, a little on the cool side, a low of 55. And Sunday, sunny skies and a high temperature of 80 degrees. So we are shaping up to have a nice one after another bout of heavy storms. This is Glenn Gajownik at the Wildcat Creek for Lafayette Live.
Sounds like Glenn's pretty close to that traffic, too. I think we're glad we made it through that one.
Well, a lot of those football fields are waterlogged tonight. In fact, one game was postponed and some others in the state as well. But we're going to have some football tonight. We'll tell you about it coming up next, so stay with us.
Some call it banker's hours. At Lafayette Bank and Trust Company, we call it customer's hours. New customer's hours at all locations are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. The West Lafayette branch and the 26 East branch will also be open for customers on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon. Customer's hours are at Lafayette Bank and Trust Company, not banker's hours. Lafayette Bank and Trust Company, member FDIC.
Announcing Pontiac's Excitement Countdown. Get your share of $200 million in factory cash back. Available on new Pontiacs now in dealer stock. Like up to $1,850 cash back on Grand Prix and Grand Am for qualified first-time buyers. Or get 2.9% GMAC financing on these hot new Pontiacs. Count on it during Pontiac's Excitement Countdown.
See your Central Indiana Pontiac Pack dealer.
We sell excitement, Pontiac Pack.
Come to Richard's Furniture and Carpet in Frankfort and find Clinton County's largest collection of floor coverings. We carry all the name brands, so you're sure to find what you need. Sculptured carpet, your choice of colors, $10.99 installed. The luxury of plush, $12.99 installed. Elegant Stainmaster, $13.99 installed, and we have over 200 carpet remnants in stock. If it's vinyl floor covering you need, choose from a selection of name brands such as Tarkett, Mannington, and Domco. Names you trust. Come to Richard, 61 West Washington, Frankfort.
We've secretly replaced the ordinary pizza these people have ordered with Noble Roman's pizza. Let's listen.
Would you look at that? It's loaded with stuff.
Is that on the menu? This is crust, Martha.
There you have it, folks. Most people agree Noble Roman's pizza tastes better. But don't take my word for it. Try it for yourself. If it's not okay, you don't pay.
Portions of Lafayette Live are sponsored by Defile Chevrolet, BMW, and Geo, and by Lafayette Electronic Supply.
Hi, everyone. Baseball Commissioner Bart Giamatti died this afternoon after suffering a heart attack at his weekend home on Martha's Vineyard. He was pronounced dead at 3:40 Lafayette time. Giamatti was just 51 years old and took over office April 1st in the baseball world. Prior to that, he was the National League president, and before that, the president of Yale University. Giamatti became a highly recognized public figure after his involvement in the Pete Rose gambling investigation. Again, Bart Giamatti, the Commissioner of Baseball, dead this afternoon at the age of 51. Well, week number 2 of the high school football season tonight. We'll have 3 local games for you. Jeff will host Logansport, Westside entertain Central Catholic, and McCutcheon to play host to the Harrison Raiders. The Mavericks didn't impress anybody last week in their 31-0 loss to Crawfordsville. But despite the whitewash to a fine ball club, Coach Don Collar said there were some positives, really, to take a look at.
Well, we've got to get a little bit more consistent on offense. We moved the ball well at times. We just a couple key third down plays where we fumbled and cost us first downs. But I thought at times we moved the ball well. We threw the ball well. We were 4-7 throwing the ball, and out of 30 plays, that's not too bad, I guess. 2 of them were throwaways. So, there were some good things. It wasn't all bad.
Yeah. Many of tonight's fields will be waterlogged. In fact, one game between Carroll and Delphi has been pushed back until tomorrow night at Carroll. Game time stays the same at 7:30, and I talked to some Harrison people today who said if that game was scheduled out there, they couldn't have played it because their field was underwater. Well, Notre Dame coach Lou Holtz said yesterday that his team didn't deserve to be ranked the #2 spot in the country, but after rolling to a 33-0 halftime advantage over Virginia last night, he probably was right. The Irish should be #1 with no pursuers. Here's a look at Lou. They already led 13-0 in the first quarter when Tony Rice limbered up his right arm for the very first time, hitting Raghib Ismail. He makes a great catch, and the Irish are in business again. Rodney Culver take it in, and Notre Dame leads it 19-0 at the first quarter break. They make it 26-0 after the short Anthony Johnson run. Anthony out of the city of South Bend. And then 33-0 when Rice eludes the defense. The final was 36-13, but it was all Notre Dame. They'll take on currently number one ranked Michigan on September 16th. Well, the Colts have finally signed offensive guard Ben Utt. It's good news for Eric Dickerson and Colts fans. Utt has been a fixture on the right side of the Colts line since '85. Terms of his new pack weren't released, but Utt was expected to practice today. He is the last remaining holdout on the team. Chris Everett still alive in her final tennis tournament. The popular veteran has moved into the 4th round of the U.S. Open. And in doing so, she has become the first 100-match winner in the 108-year history of the U.S. Open. Patricia Terabini of Argentina was the loser, 6-2, 6-4. And, boy, Everett's quite a story. It'll be interesting to see what happens if she can go all the way. Boy, that'd be a great ending there. Gina Garrison a winner today. Boris Becker also beat Mislav Machir in 4 sets and some other scores of note. Now, some of the finest volleyball competition in the state will meet in Mishawaka tomorrow. Ironically, the area's 2 highest-ranked clubs, McCutcheon and Lafayette Jeff, will meet each other way up there in the northern end of the state. Paul Stoddard asked McCutcheon coach Lonnie Worthington what she hopes to gain out of these early tournaments.
Just really tournaments where we play teams with this kind of talent, at this caliber, or this level, is how we find out where we're weak and our strong areas and what we need to work on. If you can come out and win matches fairly easily, it's really hard to turn around and practice the next day and start working on weaknesses. And I'm sure by Saturday night, we'll have a long list of things to work on next week.
5 of the state's top 8 ranked clubs will be up there. By the way, the college volleyball season opens tonight on campus with the Boilermaker preview. Purdue meets Pittsburgh at 8 o'clock in the IAF. So really, folks, there's so much to draw on tonight. You can go see some football action, some volleyball action.
Lots of activity. Where will you be tonight?
I'm going to go out to out to West Lafayette, watch that ball game, and then Paul will be out at McCutcheon. Harrison will also be over at Jeff.
Lots of highlights tonight.
We'll have them.
We'll be right back.
Nissan dealers are still running the Nissan Marathon, and lucky for you, they haven't run out of gas. They're still passing along up to $1,500 in dealer cash incentives on Sentra, and up to $2,000 on every Nissan hard-body truck. There are plenty of great deals left on the Maxima, the most trouble-free car sold in the U.S., and giving up to $2,000 cash back on Stanza. But see your Nissan dealer today, because on September 5th, you'll be out of the running. The Nissan Marathon, the best event we've ever run.
Lafayette Electronic Supply, formerly CWI Electronics, offers you more. In addition to providing electronic parts and components for service and repair for radio and TV, and offering antennas and antenna systems, Lafayette Electronic Supply is the largest supplier of industrial and commercial electronics in north central Indiana. If you're a buyer for industry, Lafayette Electronic Supply can offer you the convenience and efficiency of local delivery. Lafayette Electronic Supply offers you more in Lafayette.
You've been a great customer at JCPenney, so we're devoting 2 big days to you. It's the JCPenney Customer Appreciation Sale. Save all day, Friday and Saturday, with 15 to 50% off all Reebok, Nike, Converse, and LA Gear athletic shoes for kids and adults. 25% off all Purdue logo apparel and gifts. 25% off all Levi's and Dockers for men, women, and kids, plus much, much more. It's our way of saying thanks all day, Friday and Saturday.
You're looking smarter than ever, JCPenney.
During Hyundai's Full House Clearance, your dealer has a little number you'll never see again. 5224. A well-equipped Excel for just $52.24 after factory rebate. With variable intermittent wipers, rear defroster, room for 5, 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty, more standard features than any car in its class. It's the most affordable, best value in America, and we've got loads of them. So take a number.
See the new Hyundais at Bob Berman Hyundai on the Sagamore Parkway, Lafayette.
The Muscular Dystrophy Telethon is only 2 days away, and Jill Ditmire is here to tell us about one young man who you'll be seeing a lot of during this year's telethon.
And I had a great time interviewing, too. This year's local co-poster child is Josh Dunning. Now, Josh has Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, and he has to use leg braces and a wheelchair, but he doesn't let them slow him down one bit. Meet 10-year-old Josh Dunning.
Well, Josh is an annoying person. He's very energetic, you know, even though he can't get around and run around like the other kids. He is constantly doing something. If it's not playing video games, it's drawing. If it's not drawing, it's homework. If it's not homework, it's watching TV. So. And he talks quite well, as you can see. He's always talking all the time. My mouth won't close. Vice scripts won't even close it.
Josh does like to talk, and one of his favorite subjects is his new motorized wheelchair.
I've had it for about a week. It gets me around. I can go in the house and out. Go faster, and it's a lot easier to drive.
About the only thing that can keep Josh quiet is his Nintendo game.
I love to play it. I'm playing a complicated game. It's called Bad Dudes. You have to be hand and eye coordinated, and a bunch of stuff like that.
Josh has been involved with the Jerry Lewis Telethon for several years. He says it's fun meeting new people, but the day isn't without serious thoughts.
Well, sort of